All right, let's come up to the front of the mat and take the hands in front of the heart center and just soften and close your eyes and just take some slow, deep breaths. Just ground yourself in your breath simply by drawing awareness to your breath. Starts to slow down all those racing thoughts going on in your mind. We all need a break from that sometimes. Just bringing your awareness back to each breath and the present moment. Now just take a moment now to set an intention for your practice today. It can be a positive word or affirmation that you stay aware of along with your breath. Now let's slowly open the eyes, relax your arms at your side. Now let's pick up your circle band. And again, you can hold on to a wall when you put it around your ankles. You can sit down in a chair. So just do it safely. I practice balance every day and I dive off the blocks and stuff like that. So I can pretty much do it without an issue. But it's just, you can improve your balance if you practice it just a little bit every day. So now let's start by just stepping side to side. So push with the outside of the heel, the foot, and then step together, out and together, out and together. Four, three, two, and one. Now let's pick up the tempo. You're going to get a little burn here, but go warm up your muscles. Fast, 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 fast. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Now slow down again. Out together. Very deliberate. Stretch the band, step together. Stretch the band, step together. Now, some of you might have circle bands that are really stretchy, so you can go further, and some of you will have some that are pretty tight. Four, three, two, and 1. Now let's go fast again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Now slow down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's do one more little thing. It's just going to be a little shuffle slide. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's do that for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. So you should feel that in your glutes and outer thigh muscles. So, and that little shuffle it's semi-high impact, not too much, but just enough to kind of get the bones strengthening. Okay, now feet hip width apart, toes and knees straight ahead. Now we're going to sit back in a squat and then drive it up with the hamstrings and glutes. So notice from the side how my hips go way back. The weight is in the heels and then slowly coming back up. Number 3, slowly come back up. 4, 5, 6, stay long through the spine and the back of the neck. 7, so don't drop your chin. Lengthen it out. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Nice job. Now let's do some calf raises, lifting up on the toes. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. So again, if you're feeling like you're going to fall over, touch a finger on a wall, hold on to a chair or something. Challenge yourself. What I like to see is if you are near a wall like this for safety, you're not touching unless you need to, or you have maybe one finger on the wall. So you're still using your core muscles to help you balance. So, because the more you practice, the better it gets. Okay, I hope that was 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So this is a little different than a normal yoga class, but I try to do these strengthening exercises because we need to keep our bones strong, we need to keep our muscles strong, and we need to keep our joints stable to be able to practice yoga safely. So that's why I really like to do this class. Okay, now let's do squats again. Weight in the heels. 1, 2, 3, knees tracking right over the toes. You can put a block between the knees if the knees tend to drift. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now lift up on the toes again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Nice job. Okay, now we're going to do a inner thigh kick. So take your right leg way out to the side. Again, this is something you might need to hold on to, for stability. So just, have a wall nearby, because this is a dynamic balance exercise. So the foot's going to be mostly off the floor. So when you're doing movement, you constantly have to be adjusting your core and kind of thinking about where your center is. So that's a little more challenging. Okay, now try to get as much range of motion. We're going to go diagonally across. 1, 2, 3. You can even have the arms out for balance. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Nice job. Okay, now we're going to transition to the other side now. So left foot is out. So stay soft in the supporting knees. I always like to have just a little softness in the knee so that you're not locking out the joint and putting all that stress on that joint. Use your muscles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Nice job. Okay, now we're going to do one more set each side. Take the right leg out again. Lots of range of motion here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Excellent. Left side, last set. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Nice job. Okay, now you can go ahead and slide that band off. Pick up your long band now. And now take the feet wide and bring the arms up. And we're going to pull down toward the top of the chest with the toes and knees out. So you're doing a lat pull down with a little plie if you want to. You don't have to do the legs. So try to keep your ears stacked over the shoulders and bring it in right toward the top of the chest. 1, exhale and inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Take it down, lunge side to side, nice and easy. I'll come back to the center and just roll the shoulders back a few times. So some of you haven't used the resistance bands a lot. You can make exercises harder by either getting a band that's less stretchy, that makes it harder, or shortening the length of the band. Like I could just roll it over another time. The other thing that's really important to know is that if it irritates your fingers to hold on to the ends of the bands like this, then what you can do is you can wrap it around your hand like that. And then you really don't have to do any work much in your fingers. I mean, you want to stabilize with your fingers so it doesn't break. So, and then also, if you've had bands that are laying around the house for a long time, just look them over and make sure they don't have little micro tears and stuff. Because especially in the dry climates, Colorado, Arizona, the bands kind of get brittle and dry out, and then they can rip, which can snap you in the face or something, which isn't fun. So just kind of pay attention to those things. Okay, now let's bring it up. We'll do a second set. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Nice job. Take it down and lunge side to side. Okay, now come back to the center. Now let's stand on the band with the right foot and perch with your left. Now you also have the option of picking up that foot if you want to practice on balance, but just be careful if you're doing that. Tall alignment, stack the ears over the shoulders. We're going to do a bicep curl. Bring it up and lower it down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes looking at something that's straight ahead helps to help with your balance. If it's not moving, something straight ahead about eye level. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Excellent. Okay, now take the band out from under the foot. Do a couple of stretches before we do our other set. So bring the arms up and then stretch over to the right. So some of you may be wondering, why do I do 2 sets? So for the most part, doing 2 sets of a strength training exercise provides the maximum benefits for improving strength. And it's the most efficient. You can improve strength doing 3 sets, but it's not very efficient. It takes a lot of time. Okay, now bring it up, stretch over to the left. Try to keep the back of your neck lengthened. Just feel that side body stretch. Come up and now open the cactus arms. And just allow the chest and the front of the throat to open up. Keep your breath nice and relaxed. Sometimes we forget we're doing yoga because we're doing all this strength work. But just continue to be aware of your breath throughout the whole class. Now bring it up and over. Now let's stand on the band with the left foot and perch or raise the right foot. And we're going to do our second set of bicep curl. Nice tall alignment. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Excellent. Okay, now let's do those stretches again. Bring the arms up and stretch over to the right. Back of the neck lengthen. Fluid breath. Now come up and stretch over to the left. And come up and then open the heart space. Just coming into cactus. And bring it up and over. Now let's do an exercise that helps the stability of your shoulders. So the shoulder girdle is a little bit unstable because the humerus or the arm bone sits in the glenohumeral joint of the shoulder, but it's a shallow socket like this. That bone is sitting like this. So if the muscles around it aren't strong, then the bone can kind of slide around and you can start pulling tissues and having things start hurting. So that's why I work a lot. We're going to do the next couple of sets are going to be for shoulder stability. Really important to strengthen that area. So take one arm up and one arm down. Also, another thing for shoulders, don't grab things out of the back of the seat and wing them over, and try not to carry a purse over your shoulder. Carry it in your hand and then change sides periodically. But something over your shoulder, I actually think that's how I set off my shoulder when I hurt 16 years ago. I tore my rotator cuff and I was doing things like grabbing and carrying my swim bag over one shoulder and stuff that caused it to be unstable. So I'm completely rehabbed now. I have no trouble with my shoulders, but it's an area that you have to be a little careful with. Okay, one arm up, one arm down. Look straight ahead. Ears stacked over the shoulders. Pull the hands away from each other. Take an inhale. Exhale, pull the hands away and circle. Inhale at the top. Exhale, circle. Kind of feel that space between your shoulder blades activating. Those are the rhomboid muscles, and those are really important. They kind of level your shoulder blades for optimal posture. And if your posture is good, your shoulders move good. I'll show you a little funny trick you can try that shows you how when you're slumped over, it just completely breaks down the function of your shoulder. That's why we want to have good posture. I try to do exercises that improve your posture. And then also yoga helps you be mindful about different things. So you can breathe better with good posture and your shoulders move a lot better. So you have a lot of muscles and ligaments and tendons and a small amount of space around the shoulder. And so you need to have enough space in the front and the back of the shoulder for movement. Okay, let's just do a couple more. And now you can set the band down. So try this little experiment. Slump over as much as you can. Just be like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Slouch, slouch, slouch. And then see if you can, I mean, don't force it, but just try lifting your arms up. They won't go up, right? It just doesn't happen. So then stand up really tall, stack your ears over your shoulders, over the top of the thigh bones, over the ankles, and then lift the arms up. It's easy, right? Because that space that was closed up in the front of the shoulder girdle is now open, and so you have good space for movement. So just keep that in mind. Now let's pick up the circle band again. And just tuck your fingers inside and then lay the thumbs on top. And then bring the elbows into the side of the body and stand up nice and tall, ears over the shoulders. We're going to do external rotation. So you're going to be using your rotator cuff muscles to open and close. Now, some of you may not get a lot of movement here. That's perfectly okay. These are small little muscles that we're working, so you don't need to try to lift your shoulders and do all this stuff to try to make a lot of stuff happen. Small movements are fine. You just want to activate the muscles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Excellent. Okay, now take a break and just interlace your fingers in the back and open the chest. Just really stretch out the pectorals. So another thing that happens, one of the reasons that we stand like this sometimes is because we're on our phones and we're on the computer, driving, doing like forward exercises where we're kind of breaking down, tightening up the chest. So that's another thing you can do is you can stretch the chest out during the day to bring balance back to your posture. You can do this. You can stand in a door frame and just easily step in and open, things like that. I have a corner in my shower, and so I stretch my chest in the shower when I have warm water on me because the muscles are nice and loose. Okay, now let's do a second set of rotator cuff muscles. So remember, just feel free to ask me if you have any questions about any of this stuff, because I just want to make sure that the things that I'm doing are helpful to you and they're relevant and they make sense. Okay, now elbows down under the shoulders. Look straight ahead. Here we go. Open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Nice job. Okay, go ahead and take the band down and then just interlace the fingers here and open the chest. Now release it. Let's just take a moment to do a couple of stretches. And on the quad stretch, you may need to have a wall nearby or a chair. So let's start with the left foot in front and take the right foot to the back and just press the heel down until you feel a stretch through the calf. Now, if you're not feeling anything, if you're up here and you're like, oh, I don't feel anything, then just step back a little further and then slowly go back with the heel until you feel that lengthening in the back of the leg. Now, your toes and heels should be going straight ahead. And if you're like, oh, wobbly, then widen your stance a little bit, take the right foot over a little bit more, then you have a wider base of support and you can even touch something if you need to. Now step forward with that right foot and then flex the foot back so the back of your foot is pointing straight back, and then start pushing it back till you feel a stretch through the top of the thigh. Again, you can touch. And then if you want, you can take a hold of the top of the foot to stretch the quads. But This will be hard if you've had a knee replacement. If you've had a knee replacement, just push back like this and you'll still feel that stretch. Okay, now set the foot down. I'll take the left foot back and gently melt that heel down, finding that right stretch. So again, the right stretch is where you feel lengthening in the muscles, but it's nothing that's painful or overly uncomfortable. Your muscles actually have sensors in them that try to tighten up if you overdo. So that's why when you go gently into a stretch and you breathe nice and long, then the muscles will lengthen and cooperate with you. If you just go all guns blazing into a stretch, your body's going to do everything in its power to keep you from overstretching. Okay, now step forward, flex the left foot back, push back gently, and then possibly take a hold of the top of the foot if that's right for you. Just stretching the quadriceps in the front of the thigh. Now release it. Okay, now let's take the feet about hip width apart. We're going to do a couple of sun salutations. Let's inhale and stretch to the sky, raise the gaze. Exhale, dive down to your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the earth, step back to plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here for a few breaths. Remember, if you're not feeling comfortable in downward dog, you can always go to child's pose. Really feel your breath here. Now inhale, walk the feet forward, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Now inhale, tall mountain. And exhale, bring the hands in front of the heart center. Let's do one more of these. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, dive down to your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the earth, step back to plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. So the cobra is down here. So your lower back is very stable. Elbows hug the body. Upward dog is here if you have a very good, stable low back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here for a few breaths. You know, there's some days when upward dog doesn't feel good for my back, and so I just stay a little lower. So again, day by day, your practice is going to be a little different every day. And so, you know, you don't have to think, well, just because I did that on Wednesday, I have to force myself to do it today. No, listen to your body today and do what's working. Okay, inhale, walk the feet forward, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Now inhale, tall mountain. And exhale, bring the hands in front of the heart center. Okay, we're going to do one more, and this is a plank variation to strengthen your core. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, dive down to your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the earth, step back to plank. Now you can do plank here. You can do kneeling plank here, down on the knees. And then if your wrists are not happy, come down on your forearms and do either kneeling or full plank. So whatever you want, you find what's working for you today. Now let's come over onto the right side plank. So this is the full right side plank. You can bring that right knee down. You can come down the forearm and do the kneeling or the full. So we've got lots of options. Now let's come back to the center. Keeping the neck lengthened and lengthening out the breath. Sometimes when we do hard things like this, you're going to have a tendency to hold your breath. So make sure you don't hold your breath. Now come over to the left side. And come back to center. Take an inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here for a few breaths. Really stretch all the muscles in the backs of the body here. Calves, hamstrings, lower back, latissimus, cervical spine. Now take the knees down, tops of the feet down, and melt down into your extended child's pose. Just rest here, regroup, check in. I've heard people say, a lot of times that my classes go by fast, and a lot of times when people are exercising, they're so bored and they're not enjoying it, and so they have to try to watch TV or do something to try to make it interesting. But it's actually, your practice goes by quickly if you're thinking about your body, thinking about your breath, kind of just really focusing on little things that you might need to do to tweak, and just being present, because there's a timelessness about being present. You're aware of time more when you're thinking about all these things you're going to do later and all of that. Okay, now come up on the hands and knees. Now let's do some chaturanga push-ups. We'll do 2 sets of 12. So your hands can either be right underneath your shoulders, or you can walk them out a little further if you want more work. So what we're going to do is lower the elbows so your forearms are parallel to the sides of the mat, keeping your neck lengthened. If your elbows give you trouble, then what I'd like you to do is on the first repetition, go about halfway down and stay here, and you'll just feel a constant workload in your triceps without having to go up and down, which might irritate your elbows. So let's start that set of either holding for 12 or doing 12 repetitions. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, now come back to child's pose. Remember, you can put blocks back here. You don't have to sit all the way back. Listen to your knees. Come back and then sweep your left hand back to your left ankle, and then walk your right fingertips forward just a little bit. Just get a little extra stretch through the back of the body, the side of the body, just kind of loosening up the triceps and the latissimus. And come back up. And now we're going to do a second set. So wherever you were before, if that felt good, if it felt too easy, then you walk forward a little bit more. If it felt too hard, just walk back a little bit. Okay, ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I'll come back. And this time bring your right hand back to the right ankle and then stretch the left arm forward. Nice relaxed breath here. Coming back up. Now we're going to do a reach and crunch. And if you find the balance too difficult, then simply move the leg and don't try to extend the hand at the same time. So let's start by extending the right leg and the left arm. And then if you feel really wobbly, then just have the right leg back and you'll just do the movement from there, coming in and out here, okay? So if you do only the leg, you do want to dip the head and then extend it, just like as if your arm was out. And I just want you to have good balance. So left arm is out, take an inhale, exhale, draw the hands of the knee round, and then reach, gaze following the fingertips, working the abdominals and the lower back, really the whole spine. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Hand and knee come down, melt down in the child's pose with a twist. Left hand comes onto the right arm, gaze to the right. And you'll slide the hand back through. Now extend the left leg back and reach the right arm out. Now take an inhale, exhale, draw the hand and the knee round, and then reach. 1, 2. Remember, you can just do only legs if you need to. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Hand and knee come down, melt down in the child's pose of the twist, gazing left. Slide the hand back out, shift over onto your seat, pick up the lawn band. Now take the band underneath the feet. Now, if your hamstrings are tight and you're sitting back here, then put a folded blanket or a block underneath your hips so you get the hips underneath your shoulders. So we don't want to have tension in the low back here. So hold on to your band, sit up nice and tall. Stack the ears over the shoulders and make sure to keep the shoulders relaxed as you move back. We're going to row. So pull it back, squeezing between the shoulder blades, and then lengthen it out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Nice job. Okay, let's bend the knees and we're going to come into boat pose now. So feet up, arms out, or behind the thighs if you need to. Just really stay open and lifted in the rib cage here. Now lower it down, extend the legs, flex the feet. Inhale up, exhale, melt into a seated forward fold. Belly melting down toward the thighs. Gaze directed at your big toes with the back of the neck lengthened. Okay, now let's do another set of that. Placing the band under the feet again. So really think about squeezing the shoulder blades down and back as you move back with the elbows and keeping your shoulders down and away from the ears. So try not to shrug up because that really tightens up the back of the neck and trains the muscles to work improperly. Okay, lead with the elbows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, nice job. Bend the knees, put the feet flat, and then come up to boat. Open rib cage, fluid breath. Now lower down, extend the legs, flex the feet. Inhale up, exhale, melt forward. Nice job. Okay, now let's come over onto our backs and draw the knees to the chest. Now extend the legs up and reach the arms up. Now let's lower the right leg, reach the left arm over and bring it back. Switching sides. Now, if you like, you can do a double arm leg split, but only do this if you're pretty strong in the core. Those of you that do a lot of Pilates, you should be able to do this. No problem. But you want to feel stable in the lower back and keep the pelvis rolled under so your lower back stays in contact with the floor. So important on this. Let's do a couple more. Nice job. Now take the hands behind the head and just hold your head up off the floor so your abdominals are tight. And then open the legs apart and exhale, close together. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Just adding a little inner thigh work, hip opener. keep the back of the neck lengthened as you maintain that workload for the abdominals. Okay, let's do one more. Now take the heels together and lower the heels down towards your center, and then exhale, squeeze it up, working the inner thighs. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Now alternate. Take it out and in and down and up. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Now lay the head back and open the arms out in a wide T and just swirl the legs around in a spiral. Stay really stable through the torso as you activate the abdominals. So I started you a little late, so we're going to go over a couple minutes. Hope that's okay. Now go the opposite way. Hopefully you're all having a timeless experience in here. So aware of your bodies right now. Okay, nice job. Okay, now draw the knees to the chest and just rock gently side to side. Now float the feet down so the ankles are underneath the knees. Let's do a set of 8 bridges. So feet are hip width apart, arms rest a little away from the body. They're going to exhale and then tuck the hips and then lift up nice and tight through the glutes here and hamstrings, and then melt down one vertebrae at a time. Just feel one at a time coming down. Just keep it really controlled. This really helps you to learn how to find a neutral, comfortable spine when you're doing activities and standing in line and sitting in the car. Nice and fluid up and down. And let's do a couple more. Nice job. Okay, now pick up your long band and roll your right knee in toward the chest. Place the band under the foot. And as you exhale, come into a nice hamstring stretch here. Just lengthening through the back of the leg. Keep your elbows down on the mat so your shoulders are relaxed as you do this stretch. Try to lift your heel just a little bit so you feel that it's stretching to the attachment site. Now release and lengthen your left leg all the way out so the heel touches. Hug your right knee into the chest. Possibly slide your left heel down. Just really feel that stretch in the top of the psoas on the left leg. Oh, that muscle kind of weaves right into the pelvis there. You can get kind of tight and make your lower back uncomfortable. So that's why I like to stretch it out. Okay, now lengthen the right leg up. Hold on to both sides of the strap with the right hand. The left hand rests on the thigh and opens the side, stretching your inner thigh. Let your left hip stay resting on the mat. Now come up to the center, transfer to the left, open the right arm to the side, look to the right, stretch your IT band over. Just feel that stretch through the outside of the thigh. Coming back to the center, bend the left leg, put the foot flat, take the band out, cross the right foot over the left, flexing the feet, and then take your hands around the back of the thigh or the front of the knee. And you can put the band around the back of the thigh if reaching is difficult for you. Now release, uncross, take the left knee in toward the chest, band under the foot, and exhale, come into that hamstring stretch, lifting the heel to the sky, really feeling the length through the hamstrings. Try to keep your breath really relaxed so the muscles respond to that. So your mind can respond to that, feeling very rested and relaxed. Now release it. Lengthen the right leg all the way out so the heel touches and hug your left knee in. Slide your right heel down if you like for more stretch through the psoas here. Shoulders relaxing. Breath is relaxed. Extending the left leg, holding on to both ends with your left hand. Right hand rests on the right thigh, open to the side. It helps if you actually engage your right thigh and really make sure your right hip stays anchored. Don't overstretch here. Just go into a comfortable inner thigh stretch. Come up to the center, transfer to the right, open the left arm, look left, stretch your iliotibial band over to the right. Stretching the outside of your thigh. You'll feel it in the outside of your hip and knee. And now coming back to the center, bending the right leg, put the foot flat, cross the left over the right, flexed feet, coming into figure four. Nice fluid breath, stretching the glutes and piriformis. And release it, uncross the legs. Now let's just do a very short couple minutes relaxation. Lengthen your legs out until the heel touches, both heels touch. Open the feet out to the side, just let them fall out. Take the arms away from the body, palms up, and softly close your eyes. Just allow yourself to settle into stillness and rest. And feel the easy flow of your natural breath. Just noticing the rise and fall. And every time you release a breath, just feel your body softening, relaxing, just melting in toward the earth. Now just be aware of your body's outline and form. Just notice everything about your body from head to toe to the tips of the fingertips. Feel the support of the earth under you and sense the spaces around your body. Now bring some slow movements into your fingers and toes. And when you feel ready, roll over onto your right side for a couple of slow, deep breaths. Relax with your eyes closed. And from there, slowly make your way back up to seated. Let's take the hands in front of the heart center and we'll close today's practice with an Om. We'll take a deep inhale and we'll say Om. Deep inhale. Om. Namaste.